Hello. Okay. Hello, everyone. For those of you guys who don't know me, my name is B, or for my Hmong parents, Cheng. Um, so just a little bit about my story. I was born and raised in Michigan, and growing up, I remember I was very shy as a child. For example, I was one of those kids that when all the kids come up on stage and sing a song for the holidays, I was always one of those that would hide in the back and not make eye contact with anyone. And I hated being handed the microphone. So basically, everything that I'm doing right now, I would have never in a million years imagined myself just standing on stage, sharing my testimony to the whole church. Um, and so that kind of reflected a little bit of how my childhood was like. And I remember my mom, she would always wake us up every Sunday and take us to church. And one thing that I didn't like when I was little was going to my Sunday school class. And that was because I didn't like being late. And coming from a family with 6 kids, you're bound to be late every single week. And so I was always late to Sunday school class. And I hated that because what that meant was that was that all the kids were going to stare at me when I was making my walk of shame to the chair. And so I did not like that at all. Um, but despite my fearful nature as a kid, I eventually started enjoying going to church. And as I reflect back on my journey as a Christian and where it began, I can genuinely say that it started in my Sunday school classes. And even to this day, I can remember all of my Sunday school teachers, their names, and some of the fondest memories I've had in their classes. Um, I was very fortunate to have amazing Sunday school teachers growing up. And one teacher in particular, it was a couple. Their names are Os and Makey. As a child, I could tell that they loved God. And it was because I could tell that they had genuine care for all of the students in their class and just their willingness to invest time and energy every single week in my spiritual growth. And so as a child, I could see that they loved God. Um, they were a couple who taught the older kids class, and they really challenged me to ask questions, to seek understanding, and really apply biblical principles to my life. And when I was a child, at that time, I didn't understand much. But as I grew up and reflected on how did I get here as a Christian, I can really point it back to all of my Sunday school teachers. And it is really because of their commitment to simply being a Sunday school teacher that I learned a lot about God's love, His grace, and forgiveness in a way that really resonated with me in the times that I was growing up and I needed some substance to hold on to when the world around me felt like it was shattering. Um, and for me, it wasn't always about just the games we played, the lesson we learned, or the snacks we ate in class. For me, as a shy kid, it was the fact that they acknowledged me, the fact that they said hello, the fact that they noticed who I was and my name, um, and their dedication and their love just for teaching us as kids um, did plant seeds in my heart that eventually blossomed into a desire in myself to serve. And so when I was 16, I felt that stirring in my heart, and I started to serve in our youth as a female chaplain, and then I started to serve in worship, and then and then I became a Sunday school teacher as well. And I truly found my passion serving in worship and serving with the kids. And I don't think I've ever stopped serving since I was 16 years old. It's just become a part of my life, who I am. And I'll say, your resume. Looking back, I am deeply, deeply grateful for for the impact my Sunday school teachers, my youth leaders, and my pastors had on shaping my faith and calling. Um, as Cheng and I were approached this year by the leadership team to take on the children's ministry director role, after lots of praying, fasting, and conviction from the Holy Spirit, I think the only thing that was holding me back when they asked was fear. Fear of rejection, fear of failure, fear of disappointment, fear of unmet expectations, and the list goes on. But I remembered something that I learned with my soul care sisters, and that was that we can either act on fear or act on faith, but we cannot do both. And I quote this from Rob Reamer's Soul Care book. He says, "Fear causes us to lose heart, and losing heart results in cowardly actions of disobedience. How many times have we failed to take kingdom risk because of fear?" And so when this position fell upon our lap, I pondered a lot about this question. How many times have I failed to save a soul because of fear? How many times have I failed to share about Jesus because of fear? How many times have I failed to to um, say yes to what God was calling me to because of fear? And it is because of my um, Sunday school teachers, my youth leaders, my pastor, because they all said yes to God calling them, that I am in the position that God has called me to lay down my fear and say yes to God. Yes, because it is not my abilities or my strength that will carry me, but yes, but because of my faith in Jesus that will carry me through this. And so that was really the reason why we took on this role, was because I did not want fear to be my decision in this. And I just want to leave with this, that if God can turn a shy, stage standing, microphone speaking, hating child like myself into a worship leader and into a children's ministry director, who's to say what God can and cannot do through you guys? Thank you.